Okay, good afternoon. My name's Doc Reed. I'm doing a Klesh Gold Beginner Paydirt quarter-gram bag, and this is the precursor to a couple that I bought for my sister. Anyways, out here at Harrisonburg, Shenandoah, KOA, figured we'd go ahead and do something. Be right with you. So I figured, about like any good miner, need to go ahead, and do safety first. So we'll go ahead, we'll get rid of this. Come back over. And we'll get ready. So, granted, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I got trees, they got things that come out. Alright, let me go ahead and flip this over real quick and take a look and see what we got. Right here, like I said, is the Klesh Gold Beginner Paydirt, quarter-gram guaranteed. We're going to find out what all's in there. And there's the serial number. And sorry, Shane, gotta do it, but let's see what it looks like in the pan. There you go. Okay, here's a shameless plug for the Central Virginia Gold Prospectors. I belong to them, but they're not sponsoring or doing anything to that effect. It's just purely for my enjoyment. Okay, I've flipped the pans over. I've got a quarter mesh and I've got a 20 mesh. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna sift this out. We're gonna go for plus quarter, plus 20, and minus 20, and separate it all up. We'll see what we come up with. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll begin this little operation. We're gonna open up. Nice package. Looks like some of those coffee packages, only colored up. I think Black Rifle Coffee Company does kind of like that. I've had this for a couple of days. Just hadn't broke it open yet. And let's see, pop, pop, pop. There we go. It's got a nice zip also. And up in here, looks like we got quite a bit of stuff. It's very dry. So we're going to go ahead and put it up here into the quarter. And drain it all out. There's the serial number for it. So we're going to find out what all we have. I'm going to shake this out. And we got a couple of nice crystals here. And I'm sure there's a couple of gemstones in here. We'll break out the black light here in a little bit. We'll go ahead and set that one aside. We'll go ahead and sift this down to the 20 mesh and get the minus 20s out of there. Now, from what I understand, there's not much in the way of magnetics in this level, which is fine. And we'll go from there. Alrighty. So, there we go. Nothing that looks impressive at the moment. However, we ain't done yet. Okay. So, I've got it in my pan. We're going to get ready. We're going to go over to the pan over there. But just for grins and giggles, we're going to take our magnet and go ahead and run through here and see what we've got in the way of magnetics. got a little bit. Let's grab another one of these. Ba 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 boo. Actually, we'll go ahead and grab this one. It's small. We'll put the magnetics in there. Let's see what else we may be able to pull. Not much, but every little bit helps. All right, we'll set that over there. So we got magnetics up here. We'll do those first. Then we'll go through the minus 20, then the plus 20, and the rest. So give me just a moment. And then you got all these people driving through my mining site. I tell you what. Okay, so with this Paydirt, apparently, there's supposed to be a little bit more than what we thought, or what is advertised. He advertises 1/4 gram, and due to natural gold being in the dirt that's provided, there's potential for other flour gold. We'll go through that. And I've got a very fine micro sluice that we can run off of that. Anyways, for right now, one thing that I forgot to say is we utilize a little bit of jet dry. Put it in there as a surfactant. It keeps the gold from sticking and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and put my safety pan in there. Not that I really need it, but I'm not the greatest in the world for doing this, but we're going to put that in there. Let me grab a rock from over here at the fireplace. I'm going to go ahead and stick in here so that it holds the pan in place, and then I'm just going to pan out right there. So here we go. We have our, oops, let's grab this is the magnetics. We'll go ahead and start with this. Get a little bit in here. We want to agitate it up really good. Now apparently it wants to stick a little bit. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and get it all scrolled up. And we'll go ahead and stratify. This little bit, I really don't see anything that would be much in the way of blondes and be able to take a lot off. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and back it down. And let's see. Let's pan it a little bit and see what we can come up with. If we got any colors. You tap on it like that. Let me walk around here a little bit. Tap on it like so, and if you have any gold that's up in here, it's going to crawl up. I do see a small piece of micro, so let's see what we can come up with. Okay. I'm going to set that down there for a second, see if I can find a place I can get a picture of this. And maybe not. Oh, that was a piece of pyrite. I stand corrected. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. We got a piece of color. Okay, let me bring my camera around. See if I can find it. There you go. Set this down. Okay, calm down. Calm down. In the wind. Right there. So we got one little piece. Let me grab a snuffer bottle and we will get that sucked up in there. Give me just a second. Already. Otherwise, all that other stuff that's flashy and floating around is just a little bit of pyrite. No, I'm not getting rid of the tailings there. I'm going to rerun all of this stuff again just to make sure. Let me get this adjusted a little bit here. Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, we've seen this, and yes, this is another one of those shameless plugs. Anyways, we're not going to do the whole thing at one time. We'll go ahead and just get everything here. Probably do 1, 2, 3. How about that scoop? Anyways, we'll go ahead, get a little bit of dirt up in here, or water. All of this seems to want to clump up for some reason, but that's all right. We'll go in, we'll break up the clumps, even with all of the wonderful jet dry that's in there. We'll go ahead and get it separated up there. There we go. Okay. So we'll get it good and stratified. Go ahead and pan off. Want to try and get down to any of the black sands that may be there. This pan's got really sharp riffles and they're deep. About a year and a half ago, was going through some issues with PTSD. Was looking for something to calm my nerves, and I happened to run across Shane's video, one of them, which talked about his being with the military and having anxiety issues and everything. For me, this is very, very calming. Very calming. I can do this all day long. I've sat in a creek for 6 hours and not worried about anything that was going on around me, and just enjoyed myself. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hand this back. Let me get over here to where you all might be able to see a little bit. I'm not going to guarantee you anything. However, we will see what we can come up with. Okay. As we bring it back, so far I'm not seeing anything. But then again, I'm not an expert. Okay, come on. A little bit more. Okay, I didn't see anything in this one, but then again, let's go ahead and pan it back again just to make sure on this side. There's a whole lot of little sparkly things, but they're floating by so quick. It's not the gold. Okay, didn't see anything in that one. But, again, we're not done. So, let's get back over here. Get us some scoops. Scoop is one. No, not quite. Scoop is two. Scoop is three. A little bit because a couple of them are shy. Again, nothing there. Then again, this is all minus 20 mesh. So my understanding is most of the findings will be in the plus 20. So let's go ahead and just about equal. Go ahead and get the rest of this in there. Just a little bit more water. Get it all mixed up. There we go. Okay, so here's the plus 20. Okay, I've got some right in here. Look at that. Some nice little flakes. So since that's showing, go ahead and pan back this way. Ooh, look at that. Junior, hush. They ain't bothering you. In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, got my dog right there. He's yelling at some dogs coming by. All right. Well, you go ahead and get the snuffer bottle ready. We're going to snuffle that up. We'll weigh all this up here in a few minutes. Okay, let's check to see if we got anything else that happens to show up in here. A little bit more water in there. Okay, not seeing anything else in there. Junior. Okay, we'll go ahead and roll over to this. This is plus quarter inch. So we'll go ahead and wash and clean and see what we got here. Of course, right off the bat, we have a nice crystal, point crystal. Toss that over there. We have another one. Pretty decent looking. Toss that over there. Not seeing anything that, whoop, wait a minute. Not seeing anything that really jumps out at me right offhand. However, let's see if we can find anything that glows up under the UV light. As weird as it sounds, even in the bright daylight, some of them will actually fluoresce. Not at the moment. However, we'll go from there. Off we go. Oh. It's another little piece of flower gold. Shane likes to say that he doesn't add it in this group. However, sometimes it shows up from the natural. So every little bit. Alright, we'll go ahead and dump that all in there. That is all, and all of the tailings is in here. I'll run those back here in a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and weigh up what we've got, clean it up and weigh it out and see what we have. Okay, let's get set in here. Okay, why are we wanting to go that way instead of staying right where we need to be? Probably because I don't have the right equipment to keep this stuff still. Anyways, emptied out the snuffer bottle. This is what we got so far. So let's go ahead and bring Smile down. Go ahead and bring stuff out of here. We got a couple of pieces of flower gold. Okay, bring you out here. Another piece or two down here. See if we can get those back up. Okay, so we got some nice little flaky flakes. I'm going to go ahead, put this back together. I'm going to try and just suck up the little flaky flakes. And a couple of pieces of the flower gold that got in there. Okay, so try and get good clean gold here. Oops. That didn't work out too well. Okay. And we got something shiny over here floating around. But you can see how it twitters around. That is not gold. Let's see, we got anything else? Nope. It's like everything is out of here. Let me go ahead and just make sure. Yep, all gone. Okay, so since that is all gone, this is good and clean. We're going to go ahead, open this back up. Check. It's all good there. We have a little bit of water in here. We're going to add just a touch so that we can get everything out of here. Let's see. All appears to be out. So we'll bring it down. Let's bring it into a nice smile. And there we go. We're just going to drain the water off. Get as much of it off as we can so that we can get it pretty well dry. I'm going to hit the pause button. Okay, so there is our take. Now let me see if I can bring this in a little bit closer and get some good pictures of these flakes. This is at 7 times. And even with that, there's our 2 itty bitty pieces. Whoops. That went to 12 and I totally lost them. Again. Okay, there we go. 8's about as high power as I can get. So, give me just a moment and we will get these weighed up. Okay, so we have our wonderful scale here. This one is a Maxis. Go ahead and grab our calibration weight. Set it up there for a moment. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn it on. And it says nothing. Okay. Unstable or something to that effect. I don't know what on street means. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. So now we will get that on there. And let's tear that out. There we go. And we are going to put these in there. So give me just a moment. I'll be utilizing the tweezer method. So bear with me. I gotta put my eyeballs on. And let's see. Hold on a second. Let me hit pause. Okay. I think I got this figured out. We're gonna come over here. Alright, so we're gonna dump all this all those on there except for those two. We'll try and get those two up in just a moment. Anyways, here we go. Tear. Let's go ahead and tear that out again. And we should come up with about a quarter ounce. Or quarter gram. 0.30 plus 2 pieces of fly poop. There we go. Let's see if I can. Okay, I got them there. See if I can get them in 3, 10. Okay. It ain't gonna work that way. About 3 is about the best I can get. And here's my pinky finger just for reference. There's the rest of the sausages, but just for goodie purposes, Alright, come on. There we go. Anyways, we got it. We got 0.30. We're well within. Alright. I'll close out in a few minutes when I go over the rocks and see what we got.